Good morning, all. Happy Monday. It is November 7, and it's going to be a great week. The weather looks pretty decent. Thursday looks a little sketchy, but overall, looks like a great week. Looking forward to seeing you all. Got quite a bit to go through here, so I'm going to go as quick as I can. Couple of things is well, number one, let's start here. Number one is the art show. The art show is coming up. So if you go under activities and events, you go to the art show. You're going to want to look through this presentation and look at this flyer. So the art show is February 1 through 10. And if you would like to enter something into it, please, again, go to activities and art show, and you'll see this flyer that kind of shows about the judging, how to submit your work, and all of that stuff. So I highly recommend that. And so it's a highlight every year. COVID kind of put the kibosh on a little bit of those art show type things, but I think we're up and running now. Okay, so another thing is, sorry, I've got my notes here. Another thing is, Mr. Witters has gotten many requests from students that are in different electives, but they still want to participate and be a part of the praise team. So he and I are exploring different options, but offering a 0-hour praise and worship. So kind of like what we have, 0 hour means before school. So it's kind of like when we had basketball practice, it wouldn't be that early. So we're thinking like 7:30 to 8:10-ish, right around there. Not exactly sure the day of the week, but I want you to communicate with Mr. Witters about your desire to do that. And he and I will look at the list, like, is there a lot of people that want to do it? And then we'll kind of figure it out from there. But it is something, again, because he's gotten so many requests, we want to honor that. So for those that are in forensic science or design thinking or teacher's assistant, but they still want to be in praise and worship and help lead chapel, we're trying to create a space for you to do that. So communicate with Mr. Witters about that. Just a reminder, no lacrosse balls are allowed on campus at all. They're going to hurt. Those things are like rock hard, so we're not going to do that. And then two other things, just as reminders. Footballs and mini soccer balls, those need to stay in your locker until lunch. Stay in your locker until lunch, not carried around with you. Just leave them in your locker. Footballs and those little mini soccer balls, those need to stay in your locker. There's TVs in the halls, and it's just not appropriate for us to be bouncing those around, okay? A couple of other reminders and then a celebration at the end here. Make sure when you're leaving for an ortho or a doctor appointment or anything like that, that you sign out at the main desk with Mrs. Nielsen, because we need to know that you've checked out and that you've checked in each day. That's just so important for student safety, okay? Reminder for parents, guardians, make sure that you're an observer on Canvas. If you go here to Canvas, if you click there, it shows you how to do that link. So there's the Canvas FAQ, how do I set up my account, parent code, FAQ. So make sure that you are getting on there. Okay, it's just real-time data, right? I mean, we're communicating as best we can as teachers, as the school, about your grades and things like that. But if you're a paired observer, you have real-time data on how it's going with your student in every single class. Okay, and celebration. So obviously leaf raking got snowed out last week, and so in an effort to just really scramble and try and help these folks in need, I sent out an email, parent alert, remind, all that stuff Friday evening to say, you know what, there's still an opportunity to serve. So I sent out a spreadsheet where you as a family could adopt a family, basically adopt a home. And many, many, many of you have, and many, many, many of you raked this weekend. I am so proud of you for stepping up. I took two and then spent, I don't know, it was like 5 or 6 hours yesterday raking a couple of homes. And a grandpa of one of our students joined me. He and I go to church together. And so Mr. Osterhaus and I, he spent a couple of hours with me yesterday, and we really served, and this lawn was crazy. And it was huge. But nonetheless, she was really, really thankful. So those that have also stepped up, I'm really thankful for that. I know it's like Hugh stepped up, Julie's family. I'm gonna leave some of you out here. I apologize. Let me just see if I can grab my list really quick here, just to kind of give a quick shout out to those that have stepped up and just were the hands and feet of Jesus. See Griffith did some work yesterday. Irwin, let's see, I'm on that list. Matter, Lucetta, Van Andel, Stovall, Hood, Lish, Tucker, Julie Tucker, and then the Walters and the Beckers, Jacob Schaaf. So those are the ones that have stepped up. There's a lot of names on here. I'm sure you'll get to it. But anyway, just a huge celebration. So thank you, thank you, thank you. You have made a difference. In the interest of being the hands and feet of Jesus, here's a little bit about what I learned in church. I'm going to try and go quick because I'm already at about 7 minutes here. I'm going to kind of roll downhill here. Pastor Joel got pretty intense yesterday just in terms of challenging us. I mean, it was awesome. I wish you all could have been there and heard it. Although it is recorded because we do stream it. So if you would like, I will send you that link. I don't think it's up just yet, but I'll send it to you. So we're still in Ephesians at my church. Looks like we're going to run through Advent on this. So I'm just going to read a couple of these verses towards the end here. Some of it's review from last time. So it's 4:32, Ephesians 4:32. Be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other just as in Christ God forgave you. Be imitators of God, therefore, as dearly loved children, and live a life of love, just as Christ loved us and gave himself up. By gave himself up, as in died for us. For us as a fragrant offering and sacrifice to God. So here's my notes. So he kind of talked about us, our church, kind of as a family. And families can be challenging. We all have challenging aspects to our family. I do too. But that doesn't mean we stop loving. So if you think about the middle school as a family, I think of it more as a community, but I think it's in our way, it's kind of the same thing. Okay? We're going to have disagreements. You have disagreements in your family. We're going to have disagreements in our middle school family, our middle school community. However, and this is the key to this, that does not give us the right to not love well. We have arguments, we have disagreements, we spend a lot of time together. There's lots of opportunity for friction, for disagreements, for clashing, for unkindness. That does not mean we stop loving. We sometimes struggle to love each other well. There's a good quote in here from him. It says, from Pastor Joel, it says, people who are loved well, love well. And then I would add to that, hurting people hurt people. If I myself am hurting, I tend to hurt others. If I myself am feeling loved well by my classmates, by my family, by my teachers, I have a better chance of loving well. And then the other comment was, be imitators of God. Like, we're supposed to imitate God. Can you imagine, like this was in our sermon too, can you imagine if God imitated us? And we're sending rumors and whispering about someone behind their back, and we're mean and would lose our temper and say sharp, mean things. Can you imagine if our most amazing, loving God imitated us? Okay, so I'm going to end as positively as I can. Love. We have to love. Love is the beginning, the middle, and the end of the Christian life. If we claim to be Christians, if we claim to live the Christian life, we're going to struggle, we're going to make mistakes. But if we claim to live the Christian life, then love has to be at the beginning, the middle, and the end. We have to love well. That's the only way we're going to make it through. So my challenge to you is love well. Yes, you're going to have arguments and disagreements. Yes, it's going to be whispering and bitterness and jealousy, all of that. But it still has to come down to love, people. It still has to come down to us trying our best to love well, sacrificing to love well. Okay? I could go on and on. This sermon was awesome. And it got me thinking. I was thinking about you the whole time. Anyway, that's kind of where I'm at. Love well, folks. That's my challenge to you, gang. Love you all. Take care. Bye.